Hey guys, Taylor here from Simply Betta. Hope everyone's doing great. I know I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting a late start on today's video. It's already like 8 p.m. It's just one of those days. It happens. I haven't even fed my fish today. Oh man, what am I gonna do? I'm definitely gonna be working on that 40-gallon rack thing tonight because tomorrow my husband runs into town into like the nearest city and he's gonna grab some supplies for me to where I can actually finish this little project. So that's good. I wanna finish this tomorrow. We'll see if that actually happens. I usually have the tendency to bite off more than I can chew and expect myself to do things faster than I really can. So we'll see about that. I'm so looking forward to this 40-gallon rack being done. It's really gonna help me with water changing and it's just gonna be nice. It will be a nice experiment. So I'll be doing that tonight, and I also want to talk about something I have coming up. I decided I'm going to do a small import order, and this is bringing in really nice fish from some breeders I really like out of the country. So I'm pretty excited about this. The fish are going to be here like in the middle of this month or so. So that's really exciting. I love unboxings. I haven't gotten new fish for a long time, so this will be really fun. And one thing that I'll do with it is I'm bringing in some bettas that are really, really nice, some extra ones, with the sole purpose of being able to resell them on my website. Here's an example of some of the fish that I'll be bringing over, just a little taste. You can see just how beautiful they are, and I'm excited to get them. Today I threw another coat of paint on that 40-gallon that I did yesterday. So it's ready to be put up on the shelf. I'm gonna go grab my husband, maybe make a big time lapse of him doing all the work for me, because I can't, not with these hands. Look, it's finally set up. I'm so happy. This little project is getting closer and closer and closer to being done. And that makes me happy because I love finishing projects. I'm the type of person who likes to start a project and then leave it sit, for a long time before finishing it. I'm not doing that with this one. I'm not. Too cool. I think the next thing left to do, I'm gonna get some lights on here, get the lights back on the tank just to illuminate this a little bit. So with this tank down here, it actually has a pretty high powered light on it, but it's fairly far up. This is the light I've been using. It's a Phoenix. Pretty high powered, and I took the little mounting brackets off and I actually screwed in some plumber's tape to the top of this shelf right here. And I fit the light in the plumber's tape, and that's what held it up. There we go. I took a screw out of one of the plumber tape ends, and then I was able to put this light back in and then screw it back. So that's how I hold this light up. My toddler woke up, so I had to go put her back down to sleep, and I ended up falling asleep in her bed, and it took so much willpower just to get out again. I can't believe I'm still here. So I put the lights on, but you can see I still have a whole lot of cleaning to do just to make these look nice again. Hello, Phoebe. This is my Phoebe. She's my Chihuahua. She's about 8, I think. She's a little champ. She's such a good dog. Probably the most irritating, annoying dog I've ever had in my life, but I love her. Because the mineral deposits are pretty light on this, I think it's gonna be taken care of just with some plain old vinegar. So I'll go ahead and I'll take a little paper towel and I'll just saturate it with vinegar. And then I'll start polishing the glass. This will usually take care of everything. At least if I clean things fairly often. If the really thick mineral deposits start happening, then sometimes vinegar doesn't always take care of those. Sometimes I have to bust out Barkeeper's Friend, or maybe even like a razor blade. I would do a razor blade, but I just don't like how it sounds on my wrists right now, having to hold the razor blade and do all those little motions. No thanks. Doo-doo. Slowly coming off. It's taken me a while, but I think it's mostly clean. I'll just move on. I have to move on to the next tank. I can't spend too long just cleaning one tank. It's already I think it's 10 or 10:30 at night right now, and I haven't even edited this video. I need to stop saving filming for night time. That's what I need to do. The whole time management thing I'm trying to get better at is tough, but maybe not saving things to the last minute would really, really help. And always clean the outside too. All those little water droplets, they can make a tank look really messy. I've officially spent way longer than I've ever meant to up here. So let me just show you guys what I'm going to be doing with this new Betta system. It's actually very simple. So these tanks here are going to be holding maybe about 20 plus fish each. I know the cleaning job's not perfect. I'll do another round of it after I'm done with this. So each one of these 40-gallon tanks is going to hold maybe over 20 males or so, which is pretty much most of the fish that I have. Chihuahua for reference. Thank you, Phoebe. The tanks will all have false bottoms in them that are made out of egg crate, or I think it's also known as light screen. Basically, I'll be putting this at the bottom, like so. But there will be risers that I make that's gonna bring the false bottom up a little bit. Then, on top of the egg crate, meet the containers. These are gallon-sized plastic containers that I picked up just from my local grocery store. They were just a really cheap bottled water. So I got these a little while ago knowing that I was going to do this project. And then, like, I've been using all the water. I got like 40 of these things, or I had actually had my husband do it because I can't lift something this heavy yet. So I got a ton of these. And then we've been drinking the water and we've been using it. And now I have a whole bunch of these empty containers. What's going to happen is these are going to be put in the 40-gallon tank, as many as I can fit. And there's going to be a betta fish in each one male. Each one will be carded so they can't see each other unless I let them see each other to flare and to get some exercise. But the jugs are going to be poked full of holes on the sides and maybe the bottoms, just so there's really good water circulation throughout the whole tank and for all the fish. And then in each tank, I'm going to have like 1 or 2 sponge filters and a heater. And this way, all I have to do is water change one time using a pump or a python hose. And I've just water changed like over 20 fish. And this is going to be really, really great for me and my wrist recovery. And who knows, this might be just a really great system that I end up keeping. I just don't know yet. So that's the reason why I got these containers. They're not the prettiest because they're like ribbed on the outside, but these things were just like $1.20 a piece. That's really good. And that's okay by me, because if I hate this project, then I'm just gonna recycle all these. No big deal. But I'm sure I'll end up loving this project. So here's an example. Let me put in some of these. I like these little containers. They come like with this little carrying strap. So here's 4. Boom, 4 containers. For each container, I'm gonna be taking like a scissors or an X-Acto knife and cutting off the top. So they'll be topless, or maybe I'll make it so I can just like remove the top and put it back on. I don't really know yet. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. But essentially this is the gist. Let's see, I'll be able to fit lengthwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5, 6. I can fit 6 fish lengthwise. I can fit 1, 2, 3 fish widthwise. So that's 18 fish. Yep, so that's 18 fish, and then there's going to be a little space for 1 or 2 sponge filters and a heater, and that's really, really good. I think I'm done working on the 40-gallon tank project for tonight, because tomorrow my husband is running to a place where there's a Home Depot and a Lowe's, and he's going to pick up some supplies for me. Now, for me, the nearest Home Depot and Lowe's is like over 100 miles away, so it's kind of a big deal. I'm pretty happy. He's going to go pick some goodies up for me. He's going to go return some goodies for me. And one of the items he's going to pick up for me is more of that egg crate, or that light screen that I showed earlier. That's going to be my false bottom. So tomorrow, as long as he doesn't get home too late, I'll be able to make some more progress on that system. So I got a couple questions on my channel a couple videos ago, or maybe it was last video, I don't really remember. I was talking about how I feed some of my live food cultures, like my Grindal worms and my white worms. Some people wanted to know, like, what do I feed? So I will show you. I feed bread, pretty much any kind of bread. This is frozen bread that I kind of chopped up into slices to make it easier to handle. I think this was just some buns that went really stale. Stale buns. I freeze it not just to prevent it from going bad, but also to make sure like there's no mites coming in on the bread into my cultures. I try to keep my cultures as clean as possible. I've had a lot of issues with mites in the past, but I've been taking more precautions, and my cultures have really grown, and I want to start making like more cultures to be able to sell them on my website of Grindal worms and white worms. And it's going to be a little while still, I think, for the populations to increase, but I want them to be clean cultures and mite-free. That's why I freeze the bread. So how I feed them, I basically am copying a channel, a guy named David Ramsey, who's like the expert at keeping white worms, if there's such a thing. What I do is pretty simple, or I should say what David Ramsey does. He takes a little bit of yogurt. There's just some random yogurt I have in the fridge, and he coats his bread with it that he's about to feed to his cultures. Something about how it's feeding all the microorganisms that the Grindal and the white worms then eat. I don't really know. Like I said, I'm just a big copycat, but it works. And then he puts nutritional yeast sprinkled on top, like as an extra nutritional boost. So I just kind of sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Make sure there's, I kind of sop it all up. And this is what I feed. And not everybody does it like this. Some people just use plain bread. Some people use pellets of animal feed, like dog food or cat food, which I used to do too, and it worked pretty well. But I kind of switched over to this method because I'm a big copycat, and it's been working just fine. The reason why I don't have any Grindal worm cultures available right now is because I lost all of them in a terrible Grindal worm culture crash of last year sometime. So like a couple months ago, I bought a culture of Grindal worms in the mail, and I got it. All of the worms had died in shipping. But if you ever buy Grindal worm cultures and all the worms die in shipping, don't fret. If this was a mature culture that you bought, the substrate's going to be full of eggs, and just take care of the culture like you would a regular culture, even though there's no live worms in it. And then I was just feeding it every single day, and I'd switch the food out every day, and sure enough, it took a long time, but now I actually have a Grindal worm population in here. And it's almost to the point where I can, I'm gonna make some new cultures and separate out this, like you see that how that's just a nice big mass in there. This is almost ready to be turned into multiple cultures right here. I love my worms. In fact, I think tomorrow's video is going to be about my black worms and if the experiment's been successful. Anyways, I'm not going to feed these guys right now because you can see I already fed them like this morning, and they have a big chunk of bread in there right now. But what I would do is I'd take this and I'd soak it with water, either like spring water or tank water, not chlorinated water. I don't think that'd be good. So it's nice and sopping wet. And then, boop, I just stick it in with the goodies on the downside, and I let the worms eat it. That's that simple. I have like an unhealthy obsession with live food cultures. I'll admit it too, it's always been like that. Like ever since I was a kid. When I first met my husband, we were both going to like a trade school at the time to get into the video game industry, and it was awesome. But I kept this giant mealworm culture under my bed because when I was going to school, mealworms were like my side hustle. And I'd like be selling them on Craigslist here and there, like $5 here, $10 there, getting my mealworm money. It's super weird to talk about. I can't believe he didn't dump me on the spot when he found out. Anyways, guys, it's getting late. I still have fish to go feed because I'm a failure at this whole feed in the morning goal. Today was just a hectic morning, I guess. So I'm gonna go make some rapashi. I'm gonna go thaw some bloodworms and feed everybody so I can edit my video, I can go to bed, and I can do some stuff tomorrow. Thanks for watching the February Daily Video Challenge. I think I'm on number 5 now. Thanks for your support, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day. See you next time.